Snow is the Lord Patron of Yusnan. If anyone's supposed to protect the people, it's him. But instead, he's hiding away in that palace, presiding over endless banquets. It doesn't look like he's doing a thing to stop the chaos. Is that right?
I so want to see that show. Maybe I should try the back.
You managed to learn about the back route into the Augur's Quarter. Is that enough, or do you want more info?
Welcome, everyone, to the Banquet of the Lord.
Can't you find somewhere else to be? Why can't everything just disappear?
This is the famous...
Hello, welcome.
Business is good.
It is, thank you. Word of our shop's special flavor has quickly spread through word of mouth. This city is known for its gourmet restaurants, but none can hold a candle to the chefs we have assembled in our kitchens.
The best chefs in the city, huh? Lackley mentioned his missing fiancé was a great cook. I wonder...
Ma'am, is there something I can help you with?
I hope so. I'm looking for someone by the name of Filiana. According to her fiancé, she was a fantastic cook. Does this ring look familiar to you at all?
Oh, yes, of course. I recognize that. The woman was a wonderful cook indeed. Though the strange thing is, I never knew her by the name of Filiana.
She may have assumed another name. Was the woman you knew beautiful enough to turn the head of every man in the room?
Now, this is taking quite an odd turn. She was no doubt a very handsome woman, but very advanced in age. I suppose she must have been beautiful enough to turn heads once, but she was undeniably an old woman. Of course, we are all old now, that we don't age, but she must have been quite elderly already when time stopped for all of us.
An old woman? I suppose that can't be Lackley's lost fiancé, but where is she now?
I'm afraid I don't know. The lady in question fell ill and left our restaurant. I believe she moved to Luxarian to live with the support of an old friend there.
Do you know how to reach her, or that friend of hers?
Unfortunately, I don't know that woman's name or anything else about her. I saw her only once. She was a young woman, and if I recall correctly, wearing a rather unusual hat. Perhaps she was her daughter.
I see. Thanks for your time. You've been a great help. Lackley's ring ended up on the finger of a beautiful but old woman somehow. It's possible Filiana sold the ring. I'm not looking forward to telling Lackley about it, but he deserves the truth. He needs to know.
I wonder what's in it.
I can transform any restaurant's menu into a culinary masterpiece.
And how might I be of help? Thank you very much.
Welcome! Thank you for visiting. See ya. Welcome! How can I be of... Thank you for visiting. See ya.
This is the glow.
Step right up. Get them.
If the world's ending anyway, I suppose.
Every one of our fish...
Come enjoy this.
good. Welcome! A customer! This is so exciting! What can I get you?
Well, what do you serve?
Anything you want. How about the chef's special made from top-quality recycled materials? Deep-fried niblet hairballs.
Are you sure that's actually edible?
Oh, yes, it definitely won't kill you, I can guarantee it. And since you're my first customer in days, no charge.
Nothing ventured.
That's the spirit. Take the plunge, I say. Well, does it make your taste buds sing? Are you transported to culinary heaven?
This is...
Too tart? Too much salt, perhaps? I can brush it off if you like.
No, it's actually really good.
God, that is a relief. I mean, of course it's good. I knew you'd love it. I've been working on the recipe for weeks. Unfortunately, it's not very nutritious. People are more health conscious these days, which is ironic considering the times.
Nutritious or not, you'd think that more people would come back for this.
I think it must be me. I just don't have a head for business. No matter how hard I work, I just can't seem to attract more customers. I've been living on the brink of financial ruin for years now. My son got sick of it, so he left.
You've got the chops to be a good cook, though. Why don't you try to find yourself a partner? You know, someone you trust who has a better head for business.
Now that you mention it, I hear there's a famous food expert here in Yusnan. Apparently he specializes in turning around lost causes like mine. I'll bet... No, I know he could help me, but how do I find him? All I know is his name.
And what is it?
Gordon Gourmet. Despite his fame, he's hard to track down. If you do happen to run into him, could you tell him about CDs?
Gordon Gourmet. I'll remember it.
You are far too kind. Thank you so much. I hope you find him soon.
You want to get into the Augur's Quarter? You can beg and plead to God, but you won't have a chance in hell.
Nothing but the best food. The best.
Can you see a big gold statue in the distance? That represents the Augur's Quarter.
Tell me, are you the famous food expert?
Possibly. I do boast a certain renown in culinary circles. It cannot be denied. I see. CD's restaurant, you say? I do hate to see a good restaurant go undiscovered by the dining public.
So, will you help him out? I can take you right there.
Oh no. CD's restaurant? I'm afraid you will have to find someone else. I'm sorry.
I can't persuade you?
Impossible. This city is overflowing with restaurants crying out for the deft helping hand of Gordon Gourmet. I'm run ragged trying to keep up. And, well, you see... Right, my rule. I have an ironclad policy. I cannot help an establishment unless the owner approaches me directly.
You just made that up, didn't you? All right, can you do this for me? Just give me some advice now and I'll pass it along to the owner. You don't have to come to the restaurant at all.
That sounds reasonable. I mean, I'd hate to see a restaurant serving fried niblet hairballs go under. Except, if I give advice, I need to make sure that it is communicated accurately, with total precision. And that means my messenger has to understand the instructions perfectly.
Well, I guess that rules me out. I don't know the first thing about fine dining.
Oh, you don't have to be a top chef, or even a garde-manger. All you need is a discerning palate. Practically anyone can acquire one with a little training.
I'm not sure what you mean by a discerning palate, but I don't think I have one.
Trust me when I say it can be found. In fact, a tour of the best establishments of the glutton's quarters should do.
See what you can learn.
When offering a complete dining experience to discerning patrons, superb food and excellent drinks are not enough. One must always anticipate the needs of your patrons. I am constantly assessing the dining space from the viewpoint of my customers, the comfort, the decor. Our customers want more than just a meal. They come for the memories they can savor for years to come.
That was useful information, but you still have more to learn. You should visit more restaurants in the Glutton's Quarter.
Upstairs is the bank. Welcome. We have a popular selection of sweets. Our customers come here to put down their shopping bags and rest their weary feet. Our cakes and sweets are the perfect pick-me-up for just about everyone. We put a lot of love into our cakes, and that's what makes them so good. They're like treats for your palate and soul.
Light, I'm glad you're enjoying all the food, but I hope all these rich meals don't slow you down.
Would you like to see? Welcome! From the elegant simplicity of straight spirits on the rocks to complex and fruity concoctions with little umbrellas, we serve all kinds of drinks. Cocktails can be served chilled or warm, shaken or stirred. Everyone has their own preferences. We encourage customers to consult with our staff to create the perfect cocktail to accompany their evening.
You're gonna be a real food connoisseur by the time this is over. You just have 3 more restaurants left to visit.
Me! Step right up! Our meat is shipped directly from the wildlands. We use only natural ingredients, none of that synthetic stuff. Grilling and roasting are the best. The key is knowing how to seal in the juices and flavors. And we do that better than anyone else.
2 more places, Light, and you'll have managed to sample all the popular restaurants.
Every one of our fish is... We get our seafood fresh every morning. Comes straight out of the ocean. Tastes great raw or grilled. A chef is even more important when preparing uncooked dishes. The way you slice a tuna makes all the difference in the world.
Almost there, Light. You have 1 more restaurant left to visit.
Huh? You don't know who Gordon is?
Come enjoy. Even kids who hate greens love my veggie dishes. Vitamins in vegetables are determined by their color. You want a wide variety for a well-balanced diet.
Well, you visited all the best restaurants. What do you say, Light? Do you feel like you've learned all there is to know?
Listening to scraps of advice from chefs won't make me an expert.
Welcome to the...
Besides, most of what they told me was common sense, and they didn't tell me anything I hadn't heard before.
Maybe you should go back and talk to a real expert. Go to the Banquet of the Lord and see what Gordon Gourmet has to say.
Here at the Banquet of the Lord, we are happy to welcome you.
Well, how goes the culinary tour?
I did what you suggested. I visited the top restaurants in the neighborhood.
That is excellent news. So now let me give you the advice I promised. If Seedy's restaurant wants to turn its business around... wait, let me ask you something first. You've eaten at Seedy's and at the best establishments in Yusnon. Why don't you tell me what you think is the main difference between the two? I'd be interested to hear your opinion. In your own words, of course.
Why? Is this some kind of test?
Yes, exactly. Now tell me, what did all the successful restaurants have in common that poor old Seedy's lacks?
Let me see. Everyone I spoke to was helpful. They seemed honest and open. I don't think they were lying to me, but something seemed off.
Oh, would you care to elaborate?
Well, it almost felt like they were hiding something from the customers. But it wasn't as if they were deliberately lying or trying to deceive anyone. In fact, I don't think they realized it themselves. They thought they were telling me everything they knew. Yes, that's it. It was unconscious, like an instinct. They were hiding something, but they weren't doing it deliberately at all. I'd say the very best chefs, restaurant managers, and bartenders all share some kind of secret. It's like a special ingredient that makes their food stand out from the others.
What a wonderful deduction. You have hit the nail on the head. To think you discovered this answer only after visiting a few establishments. It is as you say, the best, most successful restaurants have a certain je ne sais quoi, a secret something that makes their offerings unique. And finding that something, that is what I do best. In other words, if the restaurant does not already have a special something, then I simply cannot help it.
Then what about Seedy's? Do you think you can help him?
I can tell you this, the chef there already knows his secret. The talent is there to make that restaurant a success. Unfortunately for him, the secret spice that gives his dishes flair is extremely rare. He cannot secure supplies, and that is why he struggles. Let me be specific. Once upon a time, Seedy's recipes all featured the spice commonly known as civet musk. But then supplies dried up and the restaurant fell into a long decline.
You seem to know a lot about Seedy's.
Well, a long time ago, let's just say we have a close history and leave it at that.
Fine by me. All I need to know is that if I can find this spice, the restaurant should start bringing in customers.
Yes, exactly. The problem is the spice is not easy to find. In fact, the only way to acquire it would be to defeat certain monsters. Such a shame. All for want of a single spice, his restaurant is failing. He has the recipe for success, he just needs the final ingredient.
Unlucky for you. I play by my own rules.
That's it, Light. You found some civet musk. You should head back to Gordon Gourmet and see what he advises you to do next.
Welcome to the...
They say that some girl calling herself the Savior is wanted for questioning. She busted her way into the palace.
I hope you can...
This city is so darningly bright. I'm going to have to invest in it.
Miss Mighty...
If you get bored of the ever so glamorous life in the city, you can always head to the wildlands for some
This is the famous Banquet of the Lord.
Ha! I'd recognize that fragrance anywhere. You found civet musk. Thank you indeed. It's very kind what you're doing. Cedes is lucky to have you on its side.
Why are you thanking me? If anyone should be grateful, it's me, and the owner of CDs for all of your helpful advice.
Oh, quite so. When you put it that way, of course you're right. I just get caught up in a project and start thinking it's my own restaurant I'm saving. But back to business. Here, I developed this new and original recipe. I want you to take it back to CDs together with the civet musk you acquired. The owner will be waiting anxiously for you.
So, you still don't want to meet him yourself?
I'm afraid that won't happen. Not ever again. However, that doesn't stop me from wishing him and CDs the very best. Please tell him that whatever happens, I'll be praying for his success.
Lightning, are you thinking what I'm thinking? Do you remember what the owner of CDs told us when we met?
You mean the story about his son that ran away from home when the restaurant started struggling? Great minds, Hope. We've both been thinking that maybe this son of his went on to become a famous food expert.
And that's why Gordon won't meet CD's owner. But he still clearly wants to help out. Let's take the civet musk and recipe to CD's.
He's only the most famous and influential.
Gordon Gourmet created a new recipe for you. You should make it with this civet musk. Do that and you'll be able to save your restaurant. At least, that's what he said.
Why, thank you! This is wonderful! How can I ever repay you? This is incredible! Everything is here in black and white! A groundbreaking dish! I'd never have thought to do half the things in this recipe. The genius of Gordon Gourmet oozes from every word.
Notice anything else?
About the recipe? No, not particularly. It's well organized, written in a clear hand. Wait. This handwriting, it looks strangely familiar. Yes, I've seen it before. These swirls, these bold loops. Could it be?
I think so. It turns out Gordon Gourmet has a secret identity. He's your long-lost son.
He is? And you're sure it was him who created this wonderful recipe? But more importantly, he's in this town. Is he happy?
You have nothing to worry about. He's doing great. Except, I'm really sorry, but I don't think he wants to see you again. I can't tell you where he is.
But why? Yes, we quarreled when he left, but that was a long time ago. Is he still angry at me?
Do you have a message for him? I can make sure he gets it.
Well, how about this? I'm gonna make his dish just like the recipe lays out. Would you be so good as to deliver it to him? At the very least, I want him to try it. Truth be told, what I really want to tell him is to come back to CD's and work with me. Perhaps if he knew that I still haven't lost my touch. Would that be enough to entice him back? I don't know.
I don't think words alone will do it, but if he tries your dish and likes it, that might be enough for him.
And there it is, finished at last. Here, please, I want you to be the first to taste it.
All right. I'm feeling hungry anyway. Wow. This might be the most delicious thing I've ever had in my entire life. Really, it's incredible.
Why, thank you. Although all the credit must go to my son, it was his doing. Here, I've made enough for one more. I've asked you for many favors, but would you do this last thing for me?
Sure. I'll take it to Gordon Gourmet.
When I'm here, I forget all very costly.
That golden sculpture, the one of God, will lead you to the Augur's Quarter. You'll need to figure out a method to get into Snow's palace.
Welcome, everyone, to the Banquet of the Lord. Our own little palace.
Oh, do I smell what I think I smell? I do, don't I? That must be my recipe.
Yes, the owner at Seedy's insisted that I bring you a portion so you could taste it for yourself.
I see. Well, then... Oh, yes. A perfect balance of fuzzy mutton and civet musk. The palate sings. It's a microcosm of culinary delight. A theme park of olfactory and gustatory attractions. And if you think that's hyperbole, I've only just begun. This is even better than I imagined. I always knew he was a skilled chef, but this...
So, why don't you go back there and help him out again in the kitchen?
Go back? What do you mean? I've never... Oh, all right. Oh, the cat's out of the bag. You've somehow figured it out. What my true identity is. Yes, I admit it. I am indeed the son of the owner of Seedy's restaurant. It was a long time ago, but one day we quarreled, and I left the shop vowing never to return. We fought over cooking, you see. But even after I left, I vowed that one day I would rebuild the restaurant. That's what started me on my journey to becoming Gordon Gourmet. Since then, I devoted every waking hour to learning about the culinary arts. After many years of study, I finally had an epiphany. I realized what Seedy's restaurant needed to regain its former glory.
You had a falling out because of the menu? But when your father saw your recipe, he was thrilled. All he could talk about was how he dreamed of you coming back. So the two of you could run the restaurant together, just like old times.
So he recognizes my ability. Oh, but it's too late. I can't go back now. The fact is, I abandoned him in the restaurant when times were tough. I'm ashamed of what I did. I can't face him again.
You mustn't feel that way, my son.
Father, how did you find me?
My apologies to the young lady, but I wanted to see you. I followed her after she left the shop. What do you say? Let's start over. You set out on your own, did things your own way, stayed true to yourself, working hard to achieve your dreams. And now look what you can do. The recipe that you created was amazing. I've never seen the likes of it before. What can I say except that I am proud of you?
But Father, I left you.
Not in my wildest dreams could I have conceived of such a dish. Indeed, if you had given it to me back then, I doubt I would have recognized its greatness. But worse, I wouldn't have believed you could be capable of such a thing. I always underestimated you, my son. For that, you have my sincere apologies.
It's all right. And for what it's worth, I'm sorry for abandoning you and the restaurant when you were struggling to keep it going.
Looks like you two have made up.
Yes.
Now let's get to it, shall we? Together. We'll make Seedy's a success again!
That went well. A microcosm of culinary delight, did he say? That sounds rather tasty to me. Was it as good as he said?
Want me to pick you up some takeout?
You know what I'd prefer over that? If sometime you made me one of your specialty dishes.
I haven't spent much time in kitchens, but if you want something off a campfire grill, maybe I could rustle something up. I was never as good a cook as Sarah, but I have been told that I grill a pretty mean behemoth steak.
You mean me? I know your face. You're the one I've seen on the posters.
Oh no, you've seen through my elaborate disguise. Yes, I'm the Savior, here to steal the soul from your precious patron. What are you waiting for? Arrest me and you'll probably get a raise.
Shut up! I don't need you to tell me how to do my job, you damn criminal!
Got this. You'll end up being trapped. You need to fight. but if you let them chase you around, you might get cornered. Take the offensive and try to throw them into confusion.
Hello. Is it your first time in Yusnan?
This is a broadcast from the Public Safety Office, Yusnan branch of the Order of Salvation. A warrant has been issued for the arrest of the woman calling herself.
This is the Rebel's Quarter. The beautiful fountain.
This'll be easy.
It's a really popular hangout for couples. I'm afraid you're going to be the only single one.
Hello and welcome. And you're worried about my feelings?
I meant you'll be conspicuous, that's all. Light!
All right. Give it back.
Huh? Give what back? What are you talking about, lady?
I can get rough, if that's how you want to play it.
Ugh. Do you always go around bullying kids? Go on, take your stupid stuff. I don't want it.
Defenses are tight around here. The first thing you'll need to do is break through the security net surrounding the Augur's Quarter.
The sun's come up, so what a boring place. Or maybe I'm the one who's boring.
Only the finest quality here in our drinks and our women. I have become such a night owl. Not like it matters anymore.
Yes, you have come at the appointed time. Your destiny awaits, Savior.
And just what makes you so sure that I'm the savior?
His eye sees the truth. It cannot be denied. We are alchemists who seek the ultimate truth of all things. He has used the alchemic arts on himself. Now he possesses the eye that sees all.
So, what do you want with me?
Listen to his oracle. Your true path as the Savior is known. Now it is time you know it yourself.
An oracle? If you've got something to tell me, I'll listen. But I choose my own path.
Listen, Savior. I say to you that which I have seen. Tomorrow, when the sun hangs highest in the sky, you shall meet us in this place. The encounter is ordained.
Hope, what do you make of these so-called fortune tellers?
They don't speak very clearly or quickly.
The eye.
It's not much of an oracle.
We eagerly.
Short on gil? Need to pad your pockets?
This is a broadcast from the Public Safety Office, Yusnan branch of the Order of Salvation. A warrant has been issued for the
The cycle of death ends now.
Good of you to come and visit our...
You know,
I know there's supposed to be a back.
This is the entrance to the Augur's Quarter.
If you don't have an ID, you're never getting into the Augur's Quarter. If you really want to see one of the shows they hold there, you don't have much choice but the tour guide. The tour guide sneaks groups of tourists in through the back route to see the show in the Augur's Quarter. Trust me, he's not that hard to find. In fact, he's about the easiest person to spot.
I think we've got it now. I know how to get you into that palace. The gate to the Augur's Quarter is locked, and that's blocking you from the palace.
She has rose-colored hair.
If you don't have the proper ID, it'll be impossible to get through the front gate.
There are a lot of popular attractions in the Augur's Quarter. People want to see them, and it looks like there's a back route that...
If you don't have an ID, you're never getting into the Augur's Quarter. If you really want to see one of the shows they hold there, you don't have much choice but the tour guide. The tour guide sneaks groups of tourists in through the back route to see the show in the Augur's Quarter. Trust me, he's not that hard to find. In fact...
Every night, there's a play put on in the Augur's Quarter to honor God, the Song of the Savior. It's very popular with tourists, but most visitors just can't get their hands on an ID, so they find another way to see it, from a pretty lofty perch.
Lofty? There's a monorail near the palace that the supply train runs on. Let me...
Hail there, my stylish lady. You're just dying to see this show, aren't you? You can try to hide it, but I know what a woman wants.
Maybe. Maybe not. Either way, I don't have an ID to reach the theater.
No worries about that. I can get you a special ticket at a special price.
A ticket, huh?
Oh, you playing innocent? I'm sure you know about the sneaking in special. I help the poor visitors to our fair city, people who don't have the requisite IDs, to see our most famous sight, the show in our illustrious theater. And I'm the only option they've got.
So I buy a ticket and you get me in to see the show, and I've nothing to go on but your word.
My word is good, but I can't offer any guarantees. I mean, who knows if you'll make it back alive? That depends on Lady Luck. So put your trust in Fortuna and your money in my pocket.
Fine. But how about a few more details?
I knew you were up for it. All right. Let me explain to you the brilliance of my little tour, shall I? It starts next to the monorail track. You know, the one that carries supplies from the industrial area. Up on that track, you'll find some of the best views in the city. If you know where to look, that is. I can take you up on the track from the industrial area and get you set up all nice and comfy. A perch with a view. You'll be able to see the Augur's Quarter and the theater.
Sounds easy enough. So where does Lady Luck come into it?
Well, the tour's not without danger. The chaos infusions have been hitting the industrial area real hard these days. You might have to fight more than just desperate tourists on your way to the best seats. I don't guarantee your safe arrival or return. All I guarantee is I'm the only way in. Not that it looks like you have plans of actually sitting down and watching a thing, my lady.
What are you trying to say?
Nothing. None of my business to say where you might be going or who you might be going after. I'm sure the Savior plays her cards close to her chest.
Gee, was it the posters around town that tipped you off?
I could sell you out to the palace guard, you know, make a pretty profit. I guess you'll also have to depend on your luck to see that I don't just do that, Now, don't you feel like coughing up and buying a ticket to my tour? I'll even give you a special price, just for you.
If you want to betray me to the authorities, go ahead. But watch your back if you do.
Ooh, look out for the big bad Savior! A ticket for one. Time's on the ticket. Be in the industrial area by then or you'll miss your chance for the show. One of my helpers will be in front of the gate to the industrial area. Give them that ticket and they'll take real good care of you. You know the area, right? Past Central Avenue and then across the sand in the lower city. We leave on the dot, so don't you dawdle or you'll have to wait for the next tour. Thank you for your business, my good lady.
That's right. It's the back route we've been looking for. Of course, the crooks who run the tours will most likely have people watching the entrance. You should find that so-called tour guide right away and get the whole scoop.
Do here. Might as well go back to the hotel.
Palace guards are conducting a search for the intruder calling herself the Savior. She has rose-colored hair and is carrying an enormous weapon. Citizens are asked to report persons matching this description to the nearest security. Palace guards are conducting a search for the intruder calling herself the Savior. She has rose-colored hair and is carrying an enormous weapon. Citizens are asked to report persons matching this description.
Come in and
We've got the finest stock.
Come back soon.
See something?
She is armed and considered extremely.
Oh, thanks a lot.
If you don't bring past these...
I won't lose.
Intruder calling herself the Savior.
Yeah?
She has
I'm one of the
rose-colored
guides.
hair
What
and
is it?
carrying an
You don't...
enormous weapon. Citizens are asked to report.
I just got
persons
fireworks
matching
from a
this
chump.
description to the nearest security officer.
The Champion's Quarter,
The slaughterhouse opens its doors to...
where blood flows and the crowds roar. Hear me.
We know how to.
A pit of violence and aggression. In like
This is not the hour for challengers, I'm afraid.
What do you think you're playing at, selling that poison? Make me stronger? It almost killed me.
I did warn you that the use of my concoctions is not without risk. In short, you were warned.
Not without risk? You're a crook and a charlatan, you hear me? Huh? I'm done with this place.
Did you really sell poison to that man?
Of course not. It was a fortifying brew with centuries of alchemic theory behind it. I assure you it should be highly efficacious for most users. Sadly, it appeared to disagree with that gentleman's liver, or perhaps spleen.
You're an alchemist, right? Don't you people claim to be able to turn lead into gold or something? I don't think I buy it.
That is an unfortunate stereotype, all too common. Alchemists are natural philosophers dedicated to unlocking the mysteries of our physical and spiritual worlds. The search for ultimate truth is the core of our ancient art. The transmutation of base metals into gold, that is a mere byproduct of our inquiries.
Mysteries of the physical and spiritual worlds? The ultimate truth? Sounds ambitious.
It is. We perform experiments, observe phenomena, and analyze ancient records. Then we carefully record the results for future generations. It is painstaking work. Unfortunately, it is also capital intensive. The experiments I perform are very expensive.
Right. That explains the snake oil racket you have going on here.
This location certainly has proven beneficial to my research. Bounty hunters congregate in the area, and as you no doubt know, theirs is a dangerous profession. They are desperate for anything that might give them an edge, and that includes untested potions.
Untested? Does that mean you're using those poor dupes as test subjects for your latest concoctions?
They all sign the waivers. Perhaps you'd care to join my project. Ooh, you'd make a fine test subject. I have made a new secret potion that needs testing, but all of my regulars have refused to volunteer. You see, I've tried mixing two kinds of highly potent poisons. My theory is 2 wrongs will make a right, and the blend will have a beneficial effect. Oh dear, you are carrying a lot of things, aren't you? Maybe you should discard some of them. confident that my new potion is...
All right, I'm game. What do you expect it to do exactly?
It will lift your spirits, invigorate your soul, and protect you from hexes and ailments. If you are the kind of person who participates in slaughterhouse tournaments, then this potion will be perfect.
So I'm supposed to drink it during a battle?
Yes, that would be the perfect time. And afterwards, don't forget to come back and tell me how wonderful it is. Please note that my potions are provided without warranty. Side effects may include dementia, gangrene, sudden death, and hair loss. Good luck.
Remember, the tour meets up in front of the gate of the industrial area in the lower city. You'll have to be there at 6 p.m. Make sure you're not late, or they'll leave without you.
Good morning. The time is now 11 a.m. The Recreation and Leisure Committee would like to welcome all new visitors to the city. The Banquet of the Lord in the Glutton Quarter is now open and serving brunch. Be sure to drop by and enjoy this spectacular view.
Yay, I got fireworks from that chocobo lady!
Calling herself the Savior. She has rose-colored hair and is carrying an enormous weapon. Citizens are asked to
Meeting up
report
with my
persons
girlfriend.
matching
I'm going to make sure this is the best day.
security officer.
Can you play that again for me?
Oh, hey! Your name isn't Lightning, is it?
And just how did you know that?
Oh, well, the girl in black told me. She said that if I played this song, a lady called Lightning would show up.
Lumina.
That's it, Lumina. She's the one who showed me how to play the song. So, do you know it?
Sure, I've heard it before. So why don't you play me the rest of it now? What's so funny?
That's exactly what Lumina said you'd say. She said that if I played the first bit, you'd come over to talk to me, and then you'd be sure to ask me to play the rest.
I'm guessing now I have to do something to hear the rest, right?
Yep. Lumina said if you want to hear the whole song, you're gonna have to find the musical treasure spheres. I've got a key that's supposed to open them all.
I'll play Lumina's little game, but not for my own benefit. Maybe if Snow hears that song down here in the streets, it'll give him some smidgen of hope.
Huh? Wait a sec. Are you saying this song has something to do with the patron? What?
I can't say, but I'll tell you what. You play me the whole song, and maybe I'll tell you.
All right, it's a deal. But you still have to do what I asked for first. Here's the key to the boxes. You have to find all of them. When you're done, come back and talk to me.
love the tension before a big fight.
The women can watch the fireworks.
I'm a little early.
I'm here to see some fight. I won't let anyone take my seat in the very front row.
Gordon Gourmet has started cooking his own dishes. Isn't that just the most amazing?
We provide relaxation and delight.
Palace guards are conducting a search for the intruder calling herself the Savior. She has citizens are asked to report persons matching this description to the nearest security officer.
Excuse me, what do you mean you can't buy tickets?
Palace guards are conducting a search for the intruder calling herself the Savior. She has rose-colored hair and is carrying an enormous weapon. Citizens are asked to report persons matching this description to the nearest security. Palace guards are
There's a supply rail that runs through the area. That'll be your means to sneak in.
She has rose-colored hair.
Everyone who signed up for the tour to see the show is meeting up at 6 p.m. You have to be at the gate to the industrial area by then.
Report persons
I've got the music for you. Now play me the song.
Hey, thanks, Lightning. Okay, here goes.
You always loved this song. I remember when you told me what it was about, that you had to believe in tomorrow, no matter how bleak the future seemed to be. Keeping hope alive gave you the strength to make tomorrow a better place. I can see you now like it was yesterday, humming the song softly to yourself. Tell me, Sarah, can you hear it now? Are you somewhere close watching me remember you?
That's some story. So, the patron was her fiancé? And this was one of her favorite songs? And it must mean a lot to him. It would bring back a lot of memories. By the way, what's the song called?
It's called Miracles. You want to do me a favor? Keep playing it as often as you can. Maybe he'll be able to hear it. It'll do him good.
Sure, no problem. I doubt he can hear me down here, but I won't stop playing it, just in case. Miracles do happen sometimes, right?
Maybe that music has made me overly sentimental, but I think his music will help some of the people in this town. It's a perfect message for times like this. The world may be about to end, but miracles can... still happen if you believe.
Hope you might be right. Who knows? Music?
Excuse me there, young lady. May I ask you somewhat of a strange question? Have you had anything stolen? By a pickpocket, for example?
Yeah, just like a damn tourist. It was a kid, and he knew what he was doing.
A young boy, was it? Then he's still up to his old tricks. I know the lad, and his is a sorry tale. Not likely to hear a sadder one in all of Yusnan. If I compensated you, would you be so good as to forget this happened?
You're sure it was this kid?
Yes, it could be none other than the orphan boy Pickett.
Then maybe he should be punished. He needs to learn that stealing is wrong.
You see, the poor boy has lost both of his parents. Have you no sympathy at all?
I've got plenty. He's not the first person in this world to lose someone they love.
Have you lost family too?
Maybe.
You have, haven't you? I can tell. Then you can help the boy. Someone like you will be able to reach out to him. I need you to give him this letter. It's from his father, who gave it to me for safekeeping. It's the only thing he left his son.
I'll do it, but I don't see why you can't give it to him yourself. How did you know his father anyway?
We were both hunters who tracked ferocious monsters, but then Pickett's father was killed, and his death was my fault. And so, he refuses to accept the letter from my hands. Please, won't you give Pickett the letter from his father? It may help him end his criminal ways and get his life back on track.
The festivities are like picnics. Until I came here.
Palace guards are conducting a search for the intruder calling herself the Savior. She has
Poor Olga can't sing anymore. Normally,
citizens are asked to report persons matching this
I can tell you're pretty upset. Want to tell me about it?
What good would that do? You can't teach me how to sing again, can you?
You forgot how to sing?
My voice is just gone. I can't hold a note anymore.
Are you sure you're not sick or something?
My heart may be. The cruel bastard, he left me.
And you think he took your voice with him?
You don't understand what it is to perform, do you? He's not just my lover. He's written all my best hits. We were an unbeatable partnership. But then he up and left, leaving nothing but his songs behind. I tried to sing them, but I'm so angry at him I just can't get the words out.
So you're not heartbroken, just angry?
I don't expect you to understand.
You're right about that. I don't understand at all.
Wait a second. Would you be willing to go and find him for me? I'll make it worth your while. My word is good, I promise.
Why are you asking me?
Because there's no danger he'd fall for you and forget about me.
Don't hate me if he does fall for me.
If he does, I'll hunt you down, tear your hair out, and claw your eyes. Do I make myself clear? Anyway, his name is Birdie. He's the kindest, most gentle man in the whole city. He should be easy to find in a sea of undesirable men.
That's really not much of a lead, but I'm willing to help you out.
What prompted you to take on such a strange job?
I don't know. I think this city must be getting to me. Hey, why are you running from me? I just want to talk.
I don't know any Olga. I mean...
It doesn't take a genius to figure out you know her. Do you know anything else about her? Like, where her missing lover is?
Oh, I can't keep this secret for any longer. I just can't. I have to confess it to someone, and it might as well be you. I'm her lost lover.
Is this your idea of a joke?
No, it's true, I swear. My name is Birdie. You know, the songwriter? I promised her my undying love, but now I don't dare face her. I unwittingly lost the 354th song I wrote for her.
Wait a minute. Did you say 354? That's a lot of songs.
Well, you know, I had a few centuries.
You didn't run out of ideas?
Ideas come easy. I picture my Olga, and the melodies just come to me fully formed, as if from another world.
Huh. Better to be lucky than good, I guess.
But a dark cloud has blotted out the sun of our radiant love. in the form of a frightful monster that suddenly attacked me and stole that song away. Which, incidentally, brings me to the favor I want to ask. I'm sure you can guess what it is.
Why don't you spell it out for me, just to be sure?
Well, I was thinking that you could get my music back from that, monster. I'd give you a reward. Please?
You and Olga, neither of you mind asking strangers for favors, do you?
There's something I just don't get. He said he's written over 300 songs, right? If that's the case, why can't he just write a new one?
Now that you mention it, I didn't even think to ask. I just got caught up in their little game.
Well, they are artists. Putting on a show is what they do. Anyway.
I'm not gonna make you give back what you stole. It belongs to you anyway. Did you notice?
Huh? What is it? A letter? And it's addressed to me? Oh yeah? Huh. It's from my old man. What am I supposed to do with this?
Why are you asking me? It's yours now. Throw it away for all I care.
Damn right I'll throw it away. And I don't need your permission either.
Listen, I'm not gonna pretend I understand. It must be hard for you. Losing your parents, and then being trapped in a child's body for centuries and centuries all alone.
That's right. You can't understand. No one can.
Let me tell you something. I lost my parents, but it wasn't the same. I still had my sister. I wasn't left all on my own. I was luckier than you.
So, your parents are dead too?
Yeah. It happened a long time ago, but I remember being really angry. People pitied me, treated me like a helpless child. I couldn't stand it. So, I pushed people away and built walls around me, but I still had my sister. She understood me.
It's not fair. I didn't have anyone. I was left all alone.
I know. If it were me, I couldn't have done what you did. You're a lot stronger than I am. You've done an amazing thing, going through that and surviving all these years. You should be proud of yourself.
I should? I've never felt proud about anything. But when you put it like that, maybe I should be proud.
Only the finest quality here.
Houseguards are conducting a search for the intruder calling herself the Savior. She has rose-colored hair and is carrying an enormous weapon. Citizens are asked to report. Persons matching this description to the man.
I gave the letter to Pickett, although I guess it's more accurate to say he stole it off me.
He did? But you know what? It might be the last thing he steals. I saw him just a little while ago, and something was different about him. He seemed proud, holding his head high. Why, he reminded me of his father. I think his criminal days might be over. You did the right thing, helping that child.
Maybe you shouldn't call him that. Child, I mean. He seems more mature than other kids. If you treated him more like the young man that he's become, he might listen to you.
Yes, you're absolutely right. Of course. The next time I see little Pickett, I shall address him not as a child of my dear friend, but as a man in his own right. Thank you so much for all your help.
Oh, you must be the new recruit. I've heard good things about you, you know? People say you have potential. Now let's see if you live up to the rumors, shall we? So, how's the hunting? You can sell to me or Baird. It doesn't matter. You'll get the same price. All the seeds end up being bought by the... Actually, I'm not supposed to go into that. You brought me some seeds. A deal's a deal.
No time for hesitation. Thanks for waiting. Guess it comes to this. I think you might like this. Time to mix it up. Thanks for waiting. We meet again. Had to see that through to the end. Our tears fall into the chaos. I won't lose. Nothing now.
Satchel you recovered from the monster, that has to be Birdie's. Which means the music inside must be the song he wrote for Olga. I'm curious to hear it.
Let's just get it back to him, alright? Come on. I won't lose. into chaos. Guess it comes to this. The cycle of death ends now.
Be careful to be on time to meet the tour group. You need to create as much confusion as possible. Get rid of those guards.
She has rose-colored hair and is carrying
How's the search coming along? I hope you haven't forgotten his name. It's Birdie, in case you have.
The Gawkers.
Thank you! I can finally return to Olga and present her with my new song.
Where have you been all this time? Don't you realize that people were actually worried?
Olga, my love, be still my beating heart. To hear your dulcet tones again, it's a dream come true.
Oh, it was very clever of me to ask for your help. Thank you for bringing Birdie back safe and sound. We artists are cursed with sensitive souls and our hearts are easily broken.
So that's how you treat sensitive souls, huh?
If you're talking about the way I speak to Birdie, everything I say comes from love. In any case, I owe you a favor. Olga shall sing for you. It's your favorite song, or so I'm told.
How would you know my favorite song?
It's not a bad song, it has its moments, but it doesn't compare to the sublime melodies that Birdie writes.
Is he really as good as you say he is?
Absolutely. Of course, I'd never tell him that. His head is already big enough as it is. Now I have a song to sing for an audience of one. I hope you feel grateful. This is a very, very rare treat, you know. Normally I only sing for Birdie or a paying audience, and I assure you, tickets to my shows are not cheap.
Thanks, but tell me one thing. How do you know my favorite song? Who did you talk to find out?
A young girl called herself Lumina. Now, Evans, if you would.
Yeah, that's right. It's always been her favorite.
I wonder if she can hear it, wherever she is.
Palace guards are conducting a search for the intruder calling herself the Savior. She has rose-colored hair and is carrying an enormous weapon. Citizens are asked to report persons. This is a broadcast from the Public Safety Office, Houston Branch of the Order of Salvation. Issued for the arrest of the Safety Office, Houston Branch of the Order of Salvation. A warrant has been
Craving some fried crawler. I love that dish.
If you're in the market for something...
Are you taking the train? This here is Wildland State. Are you taking... Be careful not to stray from them. Go ahead and...
Chocobocolina! Chocoboco! We're all counting on you! No pressure.
North of here lies a desolate land that's littered with the hulks of downed airships. Hardly anyone goes there, apart from the curious and the brave. If you manage to trek across that land, you'll eventually reach one particular airship wreck. There's a man who lives in that wreckage, a recluse who's turned his back on the rest of human society. Of course, he's not the only recluse to make his way out to the wildlands, but this one stands out with his giant nest of a haircut. I hear he used to be a pilot back in the day.
They always produce the... Oh, thanks a lot.
vegetables they grow make...
Hi. Come back again soon.
Welcome to our village. Arius is its name, and it's home to the finest sheep in the wildlands. You haven't heard of our sheep? Well, that's all right, I suppose. Not everyone has. If there's anything you want to know about sheep or otherwise, you just ask me. Except I charge a fee for every question. But I guess I could offer you a special deal. 1 million gil. How does that sound? If you don't like it, then scram! It's a joke, sweetie. I do it to all our visitors. It makes them feel like part of the Arius family.
If anything catches your eye...
Come back anytime.
Have you tried our sheep? You'll leave with a smile.
If anything catch... Come back anytime.
Wait! Oh, blast your fuzzy hides! Where are you going? Come back, please! This is a calamity! What shall I do? What shall I do?
Having some trouble?
Trouble? I'd say. Some of my flock has fled. They've never done this before. What set them off? And of all the times for it to happen, a disaster, I say.
Let me get this straight. It's my fault your sheep ran off, and so it's my job to bring them back?
Well, I realize you meant no harm, of course, but yes, if you're volunteering, please bring my sheep back.
Well, what do they look like?
3 in total, and you'll know them when you see them. They were raised on my own patented formula and grow much larger than normal sheep. It will be a simple matter to give them a scare and drive them back home where they belong. Do this for me and I will be most grateful, and I will offer you a special reward as thanks.
I'll look forward to it.
You should, because it will be in the form of my world-famous fuzzy sheep milk. It's no ordinary milk, let me tell you. Packed with nutrients, creamy and delightful it is. And with 3 sheep, there'll be a lot of it.
You do know how to herd fuzzy sheep.
Dr. Sheep is looking for his...
If you want to find the prey, seek out the predator. It makes sense. You should head east and find the City of Ruins.
That's the last of them.
On behalf of my sheep, I thank you. As promised, I present you with my sheep milk, the likes of which you won't find anywhere else. Just have to milk them. Hang on. There you go. Go on, take it. It's all for you. I tell you, if you hadn't found them, it would have been years of research down the drain.
Okay, so you're a scientist then, not just a sheep farmer?
Yes, exactly. Sheep's milk. That's my specialty. I have a dream, you see? A dream in which my wonderful milk changes the very fate of the world.
So you're the new kid I've been hearing about. Whoa, that's a mighty... The reason we buy souls, they're interested in this...
You aren't from around here, are you? I suppose you've come to seek the wisdom of our famous Dr. Gazal.
I wanted to ask him about the Angel of Valhalla.
I knew it. Well, first things first. You have heard of our Chocobo legend, right?
You mean the one about a sacred white chocobo that appears at the end of the world?
That's the one. Some of us call that Chocobo the Angel of Salvation. Oh, how we've been praying for him to appear. The angel is a harbinger, a signal that it's over at last.
That's something to pray for?
Oh, yes. For the people who live out here, death is a kind of salvation. An outsider like you must find it difficult to understand. 5 centuries ago, all hell broke loose and a new god took over. We became immortal, against all natural laws. See, the people out here don't like that. Even gods shouldn't be allowed to change the natural order of things. Living off the land, growing our own food, surviving by our own wits, and dying when our time is up. That's what we want.
And that's why the white chocobo is a good thing. It means this unnatural life is going to be over at last.
Right. But you're welcome to believe different. We don't push our creed on anyone. At the same time, as long as you're going to be visiting us here for a while, it's right that you know our ways.
For the people of the Wildlands, the white chocobo is a sign. A herald of a special kind of salvation. Many in these lands worship Etril, the goddess of death. They pray to avenge...
This here is why. Are you taking the train?
May the winds of peace come.
This doesn't look good.
Unlucky for you. Don't even try. May the winds of peace come. Time to mix it up. Keep up if you can.
You got some...
Here's my ticket. Good enough?
Damn right it's good enough for me. But can't you read?
Then I guess I'll wait here.
Huh. Save the best seat, right? Welcome! Welcome to the famous Sneakin' In Special.
Here's your ticket.
Very good, madam. In you go. Now listen up and let me explain the rules. Participation in the tour is strictly at your own risk. Whatever happens, it ain't our problem. And that's it. Got it?
Per the schedule, the deliveries made from the Augur's Quarter to the palace only happen once a day. Okay, there's a foul sea called Pandemonium. That labors away in the center of this industrial area.
I reach it?
I wouldn't try. That foul sea is guarded more heavily than snow. Everything depends on it. It's the source of all the supplies that the world depends on. Humanity wouldn't last long without it.
I saw this coming. Come and get it. You're down. The stars die, and then... You got in my way.
It's an unbelievable scene, isn't it? The whole world's running out of energy. Yusnaan's no different. Yet...
Vanity'll do wonders. The fools are probably bleeding themselves dry for their glittering city.
Tons of food and goods, which are then distributed around the world. It produces useful goods from nothing, or so it appears.
So, the food that these people eat comes directly from the chaos? They put it right in their bodies?
More or less. Some people do find the idea repulsive, so they grow and consume their...
I'll take on your grief. Meaning most of the population don't care. They're happy to eat proth.
All of the goods produced by the Foul Sea come first to these warehouses. This is where everything is sorted and accounted for. Then they're distributed throughout Yusnaan, Luxarian.
My tears fall into the chaos. Alright, time for this. It couldn't end any... So the Foul Sea here is the only source of food and materials left for the people in the cities. If Lord Snow were so inclined, he could monopolize the world's resources and become a tyrant.
Oh, it's a tough road to take. But I've somehow made it all this way. If I just keep going up along these tracks, the most fantastic sight in the world will be waiting for me.
And that's what he did. Snow made sure that everyone got what they needed, more or less.
With the darkness and break. And we made it again. Don't even try. Tears fall into chaos. And yet here in Yusnan, equality seems like a dirty word.
Hey!
The darkness embrace you. Shine hope on the future. Go and wait for a new dawn.
Keep going along this path and you'll reach the Augur's Quarter. Snow's palace is just beyond.
I don't have time to play. Keep up if you can. The cycle of death ends now.
My sensors are picking up chaos infusions throughout the city. If you keep... going that way, you'll end up in danger.
Not a whole lot of other...
Light, this is bad. The chaos just keeps on spreading. It's almost as if it gets stronger the more people come to the revels. But why would it?
Chaos feeds on despair, right? These people come to the revels knowing their world is ending. Hopelessness. It's no wonder the chaos would be attracted to it.
I came to Yusnan to watch the parade.
I found you, Miss Me. You sure this is a good place for you to be? You can see it, can't you? This place is going to be Chaos City soon.
Lumina...
The Sea of Chaos that laps at your heels. It's one of Yusnan's biggest sights. It's like part of the show. Wow, would you just look at it? The chaos is going to swallow everyone up. I think the Savior has to do something. Since it doesn't seem our patron is doing much locked up in his palace.
What's Snow thinking?
Oh, he's not. At least not about the city. He's just thrown his arms up and given it all up. He's pacing back and forth in that little room of his, waiting for the world to end. You know why, right? It's all because of you-know-who. She's the reason he's dead inside.
You mean Sarah?
That's it. You aren't so dumb after all. Of course it's Sarah. Snow's never been able to let go of her. Do you know how many years Sarah's been dead now? Even so, he goes on pining and dreaming and wishing. He basically wore every bit of himself away. And now there's nothing of Snow left inside. So sis, how about letting Snow free already? For his own sake. If you ask me, it's time he got out from under all the gloom and memories. Because otherwise, the only thing he has left to look forward to is the end of everything.
I won't lose. The cycle of death ends now. No more lies, just the truth. Think you might like this. Guess it comes to this.
Time to say goodbye. Any last words? Oh, I get it. You know you're gonna die anyway, so you want to at least go out in style, right?
Light, are you there?
I'm fine. I fell into the warehouses. Which way do I head from here?
Let's see. I guess that you're near the Augur's Quarter. Start by getting out of there, and quick.
Something happening?
I'm picking up strong chaos readings all over the city. I can't say what'll happen. Just hurry to the palace. I've run database checks on the warehouses around here, but I can't tell who owns most of this stuff. People just stored their things here and left them to rot. I doubt you'll find any hidden treasures.
Shine hope on the future.
visitors along the way.
I don't have time to play.
Check any body. Good news. That ID that you got your hands on was assigned to a high-ranking citizen. It should be more than enough to get you into the Augur's Quarter.
Unlucky for you.
Well, I don't really have to spell out the rest, do I? The door is locked, but you should be able to...
Unlucky for you. Shine hope on the future. I'll take on your grief.
If you have an ID, you'll be able to walk straight into the Augur's Quarter through the front gate. You should head for the Augur's Quarter before the deliveries start for the palace. That golden statue is a symbol of Yusnaan's wealth and power, and you'll certainly never get lost with that kind of landmark showing the way. You've got to get to the Augur's Quarter before the deliveries to the palace.
The cargo line has been severely damaged in an accident. Investigators are currently assessing the damage. Early indications are that the woman calling herself the Savior was involved. The palace has been locked down as a security measure, and the distribution of supplies has been temporarily
Light,
suspended.
things aren't looking too good. I'd hoped you could hide amongst the deliveries to sneak in, but...
But what? Change of plans?
Sure, I guess you could say that. For some reason, the service entrance was suddenly forced to lock down. That path is close to us now. It's not certain why they suddenly closed shop, but it was about the same time that my chaos sensors went haywire. That kind of reaction, it can only mean two things. If we're lucky, it's just a new chaos infusion. If we're not, then it's a Seath. If Snow has finally lost his grip and become a Seath, well, he'll be nearly unstoppable. Light, pull back for now. We need to find out more.
I'm not done yet. Hope, start thinking up a new plan. One way or another, I'm getting into that palace.
But, Light...
Seath or not, nothing's changed. I am gonna save him. Well, after I beat some sense into that annoyingly thick head of his, that is.
Okay, Lightning. We've got to give up on the service entrance. There is one other plan I had considered. It's pretty destructive and definitely dangerous.
Doesn't matter. What is it?
As you can see, the palace is surrounded by a formidable wall. All ways in and out have been locked down, and there's no tunneling under it either. It looks quiet, but trust me, that wall is too well guarded to try and sneak over.
Yeah, can we get to the point, Hope?
There's no path, so you have to make one. A show is about to start here in the Augur's Quarter. A show with one fantastic finale. At the climax of the show, a stage and an actor on it is propelled up to the top of the set by a little rocket power.
And you want me to climb onto the set and jump into the palace? I hate to break it to you, but that's a pretty big leap.
Not if you can topple the set and form a bridge. Then you can just simply walk across. It'd be easy.
I'm not sure that easy means what you think it does.
Fireworks are launched all around the theater at the finale. If you increase the number of fireworks, well, you could weaken the set enough to bring it down.
You were telling the truth about it being destructive, weren't you?
And you don't have much choice.
I guess I've just got to keep moving. Keep your eyes front, right?
That's the spirit.
Hope, does that mean you'll be watching the rear? You'll have my back?
Of course I will. That's what I'm here for. For this plan to work, you'll need help from the theater people.
Investigators are currently...
If I were you, I'd talk to the director first. Get him on your side.
A woman calling herself the Savior was involved. The palace has been locked down as a security measure, and the distribution of supplies has been temporarily suspended. I repeat. The cargo line has been severely damaged in an accident. Investigators are currently assessing the damage. Early indications are that the woman calling herself...
My fine lady.
Lockdown is
It
a
has
security
been a
measure,
pleasure.
and the distribution of supplies has been temporarily suspended. I repeat. The cargo line has been severely damaged in an accident.
Enjoy it.
Investigators are currently assessing the damage.
Please do come again.
Early indications are that the woman calling herself the Savior was involved. The palace has been locked down as a security measure, and the distribution of supplies has been temporary. She has rose-colored hair.
Come back anytime.
The cargo line has been severely damaged in an accident. Investigators